And I will answer one question here. I mean, this is a common question I heard, like when people try to communicate with somebody and then they constantly feel frustrated. Your advisor can be your parent, can be your teacher, can be the coach at school, or even me. It's when you listen to our advice and then you simply feel, I don't know how to apply it into my life. I don't know what to do. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. And a lot of parents, I'm not speaking for anyone, but a lot of parents sometimes based on their fear, they only know this way. And then we are kind of scared of the young way too. Just be mindful. We will sometimes be afraid to give advice. When that situation happens, it would be better for us to tell you, just ignore it. You probably hear that because that's how we were told when we were in school. When someone bullies us, our teacher always tell us to ignore it. It's like ignore the bully, they will go away. They never go away. They're always there. It's like, just don't interact with them. Well, if our parents only know we don't interact with them, they come to us, right? So it's not an easy solution to just walk away. Nowadays, younger generation dealing not only physical bully, they also deal with cyberbully. They also deal with all the bully from the people they don't even know where or what. So the reality is that might be a world like many of us or my mom, I would guarantee my mom never had to experience. So most likely, my mom would say, just ignore it. I mean, it's easy to say than done, right? So my point is, it would be very often that you seek for advice and the one you seek advice from cannot give you the proper advice. What I'm here to say is thanks to social media. I know a lot of older people hate it. A lot of people believe it's going to damage your soul. But thanks to social media in a way, while there are a lot of harm out there, there are also a lot of help out there. If this person cannot give you advice correctly, find the next one. If not this one, then find the next one. One thing I do know, people are willing to help. I cannot guarantee 100% of people are willing to help, but I can almost guarantee 70% of the people are willing to help. So just because you find one or two or even three person that refuse to help, that doesn't mean there's no help out there. Before, in my time, we can only find help within our arm reach. You guys can find help beyond arm reach. So hope that answers your question. So if you don't like current situation, then seek elsewhere. How can I conquer the fear? You can always conquer the fear by picking up the easiest one. One thing I do know of fear is you can choose not to deal with your fear as long as you want. But fear only magnify. That is, you can let it sit for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or you decide not to deal with your fear the whole life. It will still be the same fears when you revisit it. If you're scared of height and you decided not to touch anything remotely close to height, 10 years later, you will still be scared of height. If you're scared to drive the car and then you let it sit and say, I don't need to drive the car. I don't have to do anything. 10 years later, you will still be afraid. So fear will only stop you. Remember, we talk about soul have a nature to grow and evolve. Any form of suppression is going to create depression. That is, stop your soul from developing or growing. Fear is a form of suppression. How do we know that? Every time you have fear of something, you stop doing something. So if you have fear in your mind, you will stop doing it. I'm socially awkward, so I stop meeting people. So when you have some kind of fear, I'm scared of height, so I stop going to climb the mountain or go to the high floor. So you will understand any form of suppression is going to lead you to depression. So question, I'm stuck in a loop, which I feel like things are changing, but then one day they reset. I got my hopes up, but then it's like it never happens. How can I break this pattern without looping? Everything positive, I will build. This is also another question that I deal with a lot. Once people have a taste of goodness, happiness, or anything, they want to stay there forever. They force themselves to stay there forever, right? Understand, everything under the universe is a vibration, and vibration don't stuck there forever. That is also a form of suppression. So, how can you grow nicely, smoothly, and without struggling with yourself? Is simply understand when there's a high, there's a low. So when you go high, you celebrate it. When you go low, you cry it all out. You allow your emotion to simply go up and down in a very natural way. That way, you're most likely to grow in a very smooth way rather than it's all good, think good, all good. When I'm sad, think good, and then eventually you get crushed down, which I believe many of you must be experiencing it, especially if you've been pursuing spirituality. Stay positive. And then boom, that's it. You're depressed for a good 6 months. Very common question. The reason you have a loop, no more emotion go up and down like this. When does it create looping is when there is a form of programming telling you have to be certain way, have to think certain way, have to behave certain way. Therefore, it creates looping. Your mom doesn't like you watching short film. What should I do? Explaining to your parents, just assuming your mom is my age, okay? Your mom doesn't like you to watch short film is because we were told if your eye continues staring at the little screen, your soul will be sucked dry. Because when we were a kid, we cannot watch a video the whole time. We were told you only got a certain amount of time you can watch a video. That's good for your brain or soul. So if your parent believe that, instead of just want them to have an open arm, say, yes, go watch your video, whatever you want, the better way to do is actually explaining it to them. How do you explaining it? Is try to explain what do you gain, what did you learn from those short film that you've been watching. It doesn't matter what short video that you're watching. There's a reason why you continue drawing for them. There's a reason why you continue watching it. Try to explain it to your parents and make them understand. Most of parents simply cannot communicate with their kids because their kids refuse to share. So we got no idea where you at, what you are. So share what it is like with you. And sometimes you can even watch the video with your parent and then get them to understand. That might actually be more helpful than just simply help them understand. You have bullied others in your previous life. How long does it take for you to be bullied by others in this life? Just pat on your shoulder if you manage to not bully anyone this life. But if you already got so many things to worry this life, why bother worrying about previous life? A life that you cannot see. So if you done well, you believe you done well, you have not bullied anybody in this life, pat on your shoulder. Don't worry about the past. Karma will balance itself out. How to make my parents understand that you are gay? Just tell them you are gay. I get it. Your parent might hate me right now, but as I say, you choose your parent. You choose your parents for a good reason. Is they not only provide the quality that you need to overcome your life, they also create a task for you to overcome this life. Sometimes your soul evolve and grow by continuously communicating. Most of people expecting to say it once, and my parents should understand. Remember, their background didn't teach them so. So be patient with them. Communicate multiple times. Don't try to convince them, but it will be easier to try to make them understand by expressing what it is like for you. Don't fight for gay right. Well, you should feel this way. Everybody should be equal. The world should be in peace and things like that. Try to start with, this is how it's like for me. How do I feel when I'm dating opposite sex versus what it's like when I'm dating the same sex? So be patient, then stand from expressing what it is like for you rather than try to convince them to believe a belief that is there, not in this house. I used to have an excellent student, but due to my depression, I didn't have enough diplomats to review and get into ideal school. Looking at people around me who bully me, they all got into a very good school, and I felt very inferior. Then again, look at this whole thing. I'm assuming you are raised by industrial parents who tell you what is good school, what is not good school. I hope I can answer you in the next part of the seminar. just let you know where our future is heading. So then you will slowly realize that mindset may or may not apply to where we are heading in the future. After person, I start to watch a lot of spiritual video, and having 3 years, how do I know if this is an addiction or I'm becoming a new person? You can watch as many videos as you want. You can read all the spiritual book as you want, but it will never serve you any good if you cannot apply one into your life. So I would say if you've been watching this for 3 years, and then in this 3 years, you read 100 books, but only one sentence stick, and that sentence you able to live it, like you own it, then most likely you will have a good taste of it. Instead of saying, I read so many books, but then how do I know? You will know, because whatever is in here don't lie. If your spirit got lifted, you feel lighter. You might even lose a couple pounds, because we know your pressure, stress will actually transform into your actual physical weight.